How y'all doing tonight? So I've got some people that's been asking me to do another video. So I've got a little party tomorrow that somebody's asked me to cook some pork butts, aka Boston butts. So I just want to kind of roughly go through what I do on them. And so right now, of course, the meat looks kind of brown, and that's because I brined it. They've been sitting in the brine for about 14 hours. And and my brines, it's not too hard, but you definitely want to brine them before you smoke them. And basically, I did 2 brines, so of course you can see my big brine bucket back here. I got them both up in this one bucket. So basically, I just put about 1 gallon of apple juice in there. I put about 3 cups of dark brown sugar in there. I put about 1 cup of kosher salt in there. I cut up about 3 lemons and 3 oranges, squeezed them out, about half squeeze on each one of them, then just drop the oranges in there with it. I took about 3 twigs of rosemary and a little bit of thyme and threw it in there. And basically, you put it on the stove, just bring it to a simmer, just enough to get everything diluted in and stirred in. Once you do it, just let it all cool back down, and or you can throw some ice in there to cool it down. It's up to you. I just let it cool down for a few hours, and once you get it cooled down, just throw your pork butts in there, and just let them sit there, you know, anywhere 12 to 16 hours. I think I did these for around 14 hours. But it's going to be a long cook, and the party tomorrow is around 2 o'clock. So, and I want a couple hours of rest on them before the party, so I want them to be done by 12 o'clock. So I'm going to start them late tonight, probably here in about 30 more minutes, which is going to be about 11 o'clock. And I'm cooking them on my pellet smoker, on my Yoder. I don't want to babysit them, so I'm going to cook these on the pellet smoker. And the key about a pellet smoker, if you ever use the pellet smoker, the key to get good smoke into your meat is to smoke it at a very low temperature for a little while, because it'll get more smoke the lower your temperature is on the pellet grill. So I'm gonna smoke them around 195 until in the morning, and then once I wake up in the morning, I'm gonna turn them up to 225, and we'll get it to about 160 degrees. We'll pull them off, we'll get them wrapped and get them back on till they reach about, 210 degrees. And of course, we'll check it with the meter probe, see how the tenderness is. I just don't go off temperature, but that's about where I start looking at it. So now that that's done, my next step is I'm going to get them brined real quick. I mean, not brined, I'm going to get them injected. Most of the time I just use some beef broth. Really good, turns out really good. Problem is, a lot of it just gets cooked out or pushed out during the cook. But up at my good store, Barbecue Grills in Mississippi, Jonathan sold me some stuff called Calcutta Texas Dust. And he says this stuff is supposed to stay in your meat and lock it in there. So I haven't tried this before. We're going to give it a try tonight, see how it turns out tomorrow. And but I'll let you get a closer look at that. But that's what I'm using for the injection. And all you do is, of course, I made 2 things of it because I'm doing 2 of them. So basically, per each jar, you basically take, I think it's about 1/4 cup of this, and you mix it to about 20 ounces of water. Shake it up real good and let it sit for an hour before you inject it. So they've been sitting here for about an hour, so it's time to get ready to inject it. So how I inject my meat is I like to look at my meat and imagine a checkerboard across it. So when I inject it, I just want to inject it about every inch all over and just get it full of flavor. So anyway, we're going to get the gun primed up and get it ready here. There it goes. Alright, now that we're primed up, we're just going to start injecting it. Anyway, basically, like I said, just about every inch, just give it get it full of flavor, like I said. Make this thing good. Every now and then a piece of meat will get in there and get it stuck. So anyway, I'll get back with you in just a minute when I get ready to put my rub and stuff on there, and I'll see you back in just a few minutes. All right, got the injection done. Now we're ready to get it to get some rub on it and get it ready to put on the smoker. I got the grill warming up now, so hopefully by the time we get this, it'll be ready to set on the smoker out there. Usually I just put a mustard as a binder on here for my rub, but I was at Grills Mississippi today, and yeah, Jonathan showed me this stuff made by Delta Ridge. It's called smoked hickory mustard barbecue sauce. I was like, man, you know what? That ought to give it some extra flavor. So I'm gonna try this and see how this works out for a binder instead of just regular old mustard. But anyway, we're gonna, like I said, to do a binder, you just wanna pour this. Usually do it in a mustard bottle, so you just pour it over it. But I'm gonna experiment and see how this works. But anyway, I'm gonna use my left hand, and you just want to get it all over and just get it blended in. And by the way, I'm starting on the I got the fat side up on the Boston butts, that way, because that's what's going to go down on my grill. So I want to start on this side, so my other side will be nice and pretty. So, but anyway, all you do is, like I said, just put a little bit of this on here, mustard, whatever you want to use for binder. You can use cooking spray, you can use olive oil. I mean, you just use anything you want as a binder. But like I said, I'm just wanting to give this stuff here a shot and see how this works. So I did a Boston butt a couple weeks ago, and it turned out excellent. And but like I said, that's the thing about barbecuing, you know, always try different things, you know, just don't stay the same. Always try something new and see how it turns out. You never know, you may surprise yourself to what you may turn up with. So, but anyway, so all the sides, like I said, I always do the sides and everything and get them all done. And all you're gonna do is just, you know. And I'm using the Smoke Masters Premium Barbecue Rub. I used this last time and it was pretty good, so I'm gonna go with it again. So some things, I like the way it turned out. So I'm gonna stay with that. I'm not gonna change this up. So like I said, just get a gentle coat on it. Just kind of get your sides. That money muscle. So anyway, like I said, I ain't gonna hold you up watching me do this, but you see the basic idea of what you got to do. And I'm gonna get them finished up here, and I'll be right back with you right when we get ready to put them on the smoker out there. All right, I'm back. All right, we got the meat rubbed on it, and they've been sitting up for a little while and letting that rub just sink in, and we're ready to get it on smoker. It's about 11 o'clock p.m. and I'm gonna let these dudes smoke overnight while I take me a nice deep sleep. So let's get it started. Like I said, I got the smoker at about 195 degrees, and we're just gonna pull these racks out and just gonna get them on here. And I just want to bunch my meat up a little bit, so that's how you want it to look when it's cooking. So kind of put your meat how you want it to stay. So got them both on here. They both looking good. I'm happy with that. We're finna just shut it down and let it ride. So anyway, so stay with me. I'll be back in the morning when I wake up, and we're gonna see what they look like. All right, had a good night's sleep. These dudes have been cooking all night. I'm ready. I've already got one off because one was done probably about an hour ago, got around 160 degrees, so I already got it wrapped. But my other one just hit 160 degrees, so it's time to get it wrapped. The color looks good, so not necessarily just 160 degrees, but you kind of look at the colors of them too. So just, it's got a good bark to it. It looks really good. So I'm ready to get this one wrapped. So all we're gonna do is we're just gonna take it and pull it over here into the pan. Get the probe out of here for a minute. Then we're just gonna switch it over here. Now what I like to do is just add a little beef broth in there with it. Put some moisture back in that meat because it dries out a little bit while cooking. So we're just gonna put a little bit in there and let it soak up that beef broth while it's wrapped. And then I'm gonna get my hands wiped here. I just want to get some. Yeah. So anyway, I like these little pans. I got them at Sam's. They were real good and heavy duty. They're basically buffet water warmer pans, but they work real good. Anyway, we just want to get it wrapped real good. And before I wrap it, I'm just getting where my thickest part of the meat is, so I know where it is when I put my probe back in. Just get it all put good, get the good seal on it. So now we got it wrapped. We're gonna get it back in here. And we're just gonna let it go until about 200 degrees, and I'll start checking it at 200 and see what it is feeling like. Well, let me get it right there. Alrighty, and that's it. We'll come back around 200 degrees and start seeing what it feels like. If it feels good and tender, and we're gonna pull them and get them in the cooler and let them rest. All right, see you back. All right, 13 hours later, we are finally finished. Got around 197, and it started feeling real good. So I'm just gonna go from there, and we're gonna get it opened up and see what it looks like. I have not opened it yet, so and I'll let Susie zoom in with the camera there and get a better look at it. Man, that thing looks good. And we just want to see how good that bone comes out of there. Oh yeah, it's just gonna slide right. But look at that. That's what you want. You want that bone just to slide right out. And like I said, there's that good old meat. I mean, it's just falling apart. I mean, that's what you want. Fantastic. Anyway, turned out excellent. Think it's great. Hope they enjoy it. But anyway, that's how I do a Boston butt. If you have any questions, just put a comment in there and I'll be glad to answer it for you. Have a good one. Alrighty, here's the finished results. Just wanted to give you one last look at it. Hope they enjoy it.